It's hard to believe it's already been 100 days since I started my new forever world in Grounded. Time flew by very quickly as I really hadn't thought that I'd put that much time into this world, but I did accomplish a lot. If you've been enjoying the videos in this save, make sure you hit the like button and consider subscribing for more videos just like this. You can also find the entire playlist of the videos for this world in the description down below. So what I want to do in this video to kind of celebrate the 100th day is kind of recap what my goals were for this save and also just kind of show off my progress. So the main thing I wanted to do in this save was I wanted to take my time, enjoy everything about the game for what it is, and not rush through the content, not rush through the story, not rush to just like get things. I just wanted to play at my own pace. And another thing I wanted to do was I wanted to pick locations to build where I had never built before. So that was kind of hard because, to be completely honest, I have like 15 or 1600 hours in Grounded, and I've built just about everywhere you could possibly build. So it took me quite a while before I decided on a location that I actually had never built before, looked like it was okay, and that's where I decided to build. So I'm going to head on over there now. It's actually over here on the way over to the eastern flood zone of the map. And I wanted to build over here because it was a spot I'd never built in before, and it also was a huge flat open area. But it also looked like it was going to be relatively safe because there's nothing that really spawns there. Now, little did I know that what would end up happening would be that I would end up just having so many friends walk by on a regular basis that it wasn't really as safe as I initially intended. So we're going to head over here to the house that I built, and I did spend quite a bit of time. So you're already going to see that I took a little bit of a roundabout way of getting here. On the way over here from the mysterious machine, there's lawn mites. Now, lawn mites are just really not that hard to deal with. In fact, before they destroy my fence, I'm just going to get rid of them right now. They're not really that hard to deal with. They're just kind of like a nuisance, even like the first 5 minutes in the game. But what else is over here is there's actually some there's an orb weaver spider over there. There's an orb weaver junior. This place is also, I haven't seen one yet, which is kind of surprising considering I've been playing for 100 days. But we got lots of wolf spider spawns over here. The wooden plank is just on the other side of here, which there's one that spawns under there. There's a couple more that spawn over there as well. And at least one of them definitely patrols by here at some point. On top of that, this is like the larva highway. It's probably kind of like what you could call it. So over here on the left side of this base is going to be actually behind the base over here, over to the north. The larva den's back here, like literally right here. And I completely missed this when I was building here, forgot that it was there. Larva come in and out of here, and the way it looks like, and you can just see one coming right now. I'm going to go back into my house real quick because I just don't really feel like fighting them anymore. The way they work is, the AI seems to work, is that the creatures don't necessarily always go back to the spot they started in. So it looks like they almost switch spots sometimes. So the problem with this is, and let me get on top of the house real quick. You can already hear the larva getting mad at me. Well, the problem with this is that the larva den's over here, and this area over here is, there's just lots of larvae over there. And it looks like they maybe take turns switching. So the ones that start over here in the morning go to the larva den and vice versa, something like that. So I had originally blocked that larva den off, and what I found was it caused way more larvae to be over here than normal. So you can already see one there, and I've already killed 39 of them, and that's with me just not really trying to fight them. I literally just try to avoid them because I don't really need their parts right now. But so I ended up unblocking it, and it seems to have helped a little bit, but essentially there's just larvae that come by here on a regular basis all the time. On top of that, there's also a bombardier beetle, which in the beginning of the game, you see them over there. At the beginning of the game, the bombardier beetle was a little bit of a challenge, but now they're relatively easy for me to kill because I have tier 2 gear. So anyway, what I ended up doing was I built this house, and then I decided I was going to build another one, which I'll show off in just a minute. But I want to show you kind of what I built here. And the reason I actually built here also was there's a field station literally right next to it. So there's a field station right there. There's also a soda can right there. And there's tons of dewdrops around here. So it was just an easy spot. Now, little did I know at the time was this is also like almost like a weevil trap, because for some reason, every day multiple weevils spawn inside my little fenced-in area here. So it is essentially a free weevil trap. And so you can see here, they spawn inside the house too. I can get like 3 or 4 of them every day. So just a little quick tour of the house. I built myself a 2-story house here. We got the fireplace down here. The coziness level here, I think, is like up to 2, maybe 3. And then my other house is actually a little bit higher. So this let me unlock the fireplace, and then upstairs. So we got the little kitchen area over here, and then a little storage area hidden back here. Upstairs, gonna have the bedroom. There used to be more up here, but I moved it to my other house. I actually had like my production stuff up here, so I had jerky racks, and I also had the spinning wheels up here, but I've since moved those. So this is kind of just like a stopover house now. It's got everything in it I would need. It's also got like resources and stuff in here, and food and stuff downstairs. So eventually I'm going to consolidate most of the important things in kind of one location. So For those of you who are Weevil fans, sorry, but I don't have a lot of Weevil. I don't have a lot of food over at my other house that I want to show off, which is kind of where I am now. So I'm going to take these over here because one thing that I did discover while playing this was, for some reason, the food does not spoil in roasting spits. At least as of this recording, that has still not been fixed. So I'm gonna keep taking advantage of that until it's fixed, or if it's never fixed, we're just gonna keep taking advantage of it. So once I had built there and realized, okay, well, man, I'm getting attacked. There's literally stuff walking by all the time. I was like, let me find somewhere else that I built where there's a little bit less traffic from creatures, but at the same time, I've never built there before. So I ended up coming over here. I scouted the whole map again. And when I say the whole map, I scouted the lower yard because I wasn't going to obviously build a starter base or an early game base in the upper yard where most likely almost every creature up there would 1 or 2 shot me. So I decided to come over here, and you can see all the larvae. There's tons of larvae over here. But I'm not built down here on the low ground. I actually built up on the high ground over here on the retaining wall. And I'd never built up here before. I had actually built a giant base below the retaining wall. But when I did that, there was not really any creatures over here. Now I found that the larvae do seem to come all the way back to the wall sometimes. So I don't even know if that would be safe. In fact, there's a lot of times there's one sleeping right down here by my steps, like right down there. So this is a really cool flat area, and there's really nothing over here except there's a bunch of larvae. So if you don't want to have to deal with them, I would recommend not building there. So I decided, let me build up here on top of here on the retaining wall. So I built this nice little house. I started building it, and lo and behold, guess what happened? I almost immediately got raided by mosquitoes. Now, at the time, I think I had killed a single mosquito because there was one below the bird bath that I fought. And I had not even gone to the bird bath yet. And I was like, there's no way that building up here is going to cause raids by mosquitoes. Well, I've now been attacked by mosquitoes, I think 3 or 4 times. I can't remember. I've lost count. It's 3 or 4 times over the 100 days. Every base raid I have had, except for the very first one, has been mosquitoes. The very first one I had was ore weavers. And that was because I just cleared the hedge lab. So all the base raids now seem to be mosquitoes, and I think it's because since this is the primary place that I'm in, and the only thing they can get here is mosquitoes, that's what spawns. Because for some reason, I guess the game's just coded this way, raids can only happen from like certain directions, and it seems like when you're up here on this retaining wall, the raids always come from down here up to here, and only flying creatures can reach you. I'm not sure why I can't get raided by ground-based creatures, and they could be like over here and figure out a way to get up here. I could just build them kind of ramps to get up here, but they can't. So that was kind of the downside to building here. So, but in any case, I've expanded this base, and I'm not getting raided that often, so it's not that big a deal yet. This one's going to be it's a much bigger base, and I think this actually has, yeah, it has coziness level. I think it's 4. Yeah, it doesn't go up to 5 just yet. I probably need to put down the hot tub, which I can't get yet because I haven't gone to the upper yard. So out here, we have an outdoor patio here that's got just like a cooking area and everything. I'm probably going to put a table out here at some point. I just haven't done that yet. Got a nice little seating area. Got the outside here. We got the little statues over here from the koi pond and also from the hedge lab. Inside, we've got a little storage area here for a kitchen. I got a dining room. Got a living room in here, so we got the double fireplace on both sides. And then over here is going to be the crafting area. I haven't put anything in this room yet. This is kind of where all my crafting stuff's located. And I got a little storage area hidden back here. We go up here and around. This is going to take me to the upstairs because I did put the bedroom upstairs. It's got a pretty big area up here. So up here we got the bedroom. This is kind of where I store all of my armor and weapons for now and trinkets. They're all inside of the chest and stuff here. So got some. Now there's nothing in this one. This one's got weapons and armor and some trinkets. And then this one's got the badges and a couple of extra fluffy dandelion tufts because they have increased the drop rate of those tremendously. So that's kind of my house right now, and this is where I spend most of my time. But I'm kind of like what I decided, I was like, I'm gonna build something else. And actually, let's before I go on, let's go over here and talk about this. This area has this huge flat area, so I was able to build a massive mussel sprout farm. So we got 25, was it 20? There's 20 farm garden plant patches right now, and I'll be able to get without actually, I can't believe that one. I don't remember putting fertilizer in that one. So I guess I just got lucky. So with 20 of these, that means I'm going to plant 20 and get back 40 without any fertilizer. I've been kind of avoiding the fertilizer because chopping them just takes longer, and it also results in me accidentally damaging them sometimes. Also over here is going to be this kind of oh, my mushrooms disappeared out of the garden patch. Do they spoil? That's interesting. There was mushrooms in there and they're gone now. I guess they don't last forever. But this was a variant I was testing of the aphid and weevil trap, which I'm going to show you as I walk over here. So while I make my way over here, let's talk about what I've completed in terms of storyline progress. I finished the hedge lab. That was something I did relatively early on. I did that, and that let me... Obviously, I got a bunch of... The reason I did that was because I wanted to get web fiber. I also wanted to get the ability to make some of the... I wanted to get the parts to make some of the tier 2 stuff. So without having to fight bombardier beetles, without having to fight ladybugs and stink bugs, you can actually get the parts from them, or most of the parts from them, inside of the web sack. So that was how I ended up getting those. And that's, of course, why I ended up having to get raided by orb weavers, was because I broke literally every web sack. After clearing the lab, went back and broke every web sack trying to get all the parts, and I did get enough parts to make the insect hammer, the insect axe, which is what I was looking for. After doing that, and a little bit later on, I ended up doing the pond, and as of now, so the hedge is completely cleared, except for I have to do the mixer underneath it. I've gotten everything else in there, all the milk molars, all the scabbies. Pond, to the best of my knowledge, I cleared the pond lab. I also found all the secrets in the pond. And as like I said, as far as I remember, I don't think I've missed anything. I've gotten all the milk molars and all the scabbies. So the pond is actually cleared. Now, in the interim, or a little bit later on, a lot of people asking me, can you see if the aphid and weevil trap still works? And so what I did was I built this and tested it out, and I can confirm that it does work. So it's like 1 o'clock in the... We'll actually let's put some mushrooms up here, because I don't have any of the plant slurry. If you put mushrooms or mushroom slurry up top, it'll attract weevils. If you put plant slurry in here, it will attract aphids. And I did have to modify it from my original version. The original version did not have I could just put the stuff like basically on the ground. Didn't even have to worry about where'd they go. It fell straight down. We gotta make sure they land up here. That's why I usually do the slurries, because I can hold them in my hand and drop them. But what I did was I tested this, and if I put them on just 1 tile up, they could still eat them. So I ended up putting them 3 tiles up. So if you just stick around this area, you'll end up getting a bunch of aphids and weevils in there if you put plant slurry and then either mushroom slurry or mushrooms. So this definitely worked. In fact, when I first tested it out, I had so many aphids in there, it was hard to count them. So after that, I have my little outpost over here. So I do have some outposts scattered around the map. There was one right by the mysterious machine. And what my goal is with these is I like to have like a lean-to, some food, storage chest, and a workbench in case I need to repair anything. These weed stems, the weed stems over here are for a future project. And you may or may not have heard our friend over there, the koi fish. I can say that I've only died 1 time in 100 days, and that one death came to the koi fish. And it's kind of almost embarrassing because I can't remember the last time I died to the koi fish, but I got a little too overconfident and decided that I was gonna... I watched her swim away, and then I decided to dive down to grab some raw science, and on my way back up, she decided to make a U-turn and come right back towards me. And of course, if you know, the koi fish literally one-shots you. There was nowhere I could go. I was literally trapped. So that's been my only death. Now, also, something that I've done or have avoided doing is I have not fought a single wolf spider yet in 100 days. So I've been avoiding them, just trying to wait till I get upgraded gear. My progression in terms of armor and weapons is I went from like the pebblet weapons, and my first armor was I'd used clover armor briefly, and then I switched to red ant armor. The red ant armor is actually super useful because there are red ants way all over the yard now. There used to only be red ants over by the red ant hill, and then you would see like the workers wandering around, but there's now actually red soldier ants all over the lower yard, which is a good thing because it makes the lower yard a little bit more treacherous, and while they're not terribly difficult early on, they can be a little bit challenging. So speaking of the ants, I did clear the old ant hill. I cleared everything under Burgle's lab. I also cleared the red ant hill and got the chip inside of there. And then most recently, what I've done is literally just like a day or two ago in the save, cleared the haze lab and was able to get through that relatively easy because I rediscovered a trick that I was using during early access, which I really wish I would have used much more often because I could have actually got ladybug armor probably within the first couple of days of playing. And if I spot a ladybug, I will actually show you. And that is the fact that you can kill ladybugs like super easy using throwing the thistle, the spiky sprigs at them. In fact, it only takes 5 of them to kill the ladybug, and the third one will stun her. So you literally can sneak up on one, throw 3 of them, and then 2 more, and they're dead before you even have to fight them. So using that method, I was able to kill the infected ladybug with 8 throws, very easy. She's got a little bit more health and a little bit more defense, a little bit more defense than a regular ladybug. I was able to kill her super, super easy. And I was saying there's a scabby around here. Oh, maybe it might be on top of there. Oh, no, it's on top of the laser here. Is there a laser near me? I'll grab that later. It's not a big deal. And then after that, I went over and did the picnic table. Now, when I was watching the gameplay of the picnic table, I realized that not only I didn't miss one thing, I missed two things. Actually, more than that. Yeah, I missed the raw science that was in the can that's up on top. I also forgot to go inside of the lunchbox. And I forgot to hit the 20-sided die to unlock coup de grace stage 2. So I'm going to have to go back up there anyway because I need to get the gum. And I'll take care of those things when I go back up there. But I missed those things. I also realized that, yeah, I was looking diligently in the Haze lab. And I managed to somehow miss the statue that's in one of the rooms. Even though I literally like looked at it when I was breaking stuff. And it's in the room where you press the button to go inside of. It's in the room right before the lever where you have to press it to unlock the infected ladybug. In fact, I probably could go over there right now and just grab it, but actually I don't have my underwater gear. So I'm gonna have to go back and grab that too. So honestly, it's funny. It's like, I almost imagine that, I don't know how someone playing this game can find all of the stuff like that without like quadruple checking everything, because to be completely honest, even though I know where most of the things are, I still miss things. That's just how crazy, like, that's how many things are hidden in this game. And that statue was pretty well hidden. It was only in the frame of like a couple, like 2 or 3 frames of the recording I had of me going through the Haze lab that I was like, wait, I think there's something on that table. And yeah, that was the case. So that's like kind of where the progress is now. And then last but not least, I will head over to where I'm going to show you what's my next big goal is going to be. The lower yard has not been cleared yet. I still need to clear the rest of the haze. I've kind of decided that for that, I'm going to wait till I get the mint mace. I was able to get, by getting the chip for the picnic table, you can even see there's raw science down there I haven't grabbed. By getting the picnic table chip and turning that in, I was able to unlock and purchase the ability to make the mint globs, which are needed for the mint mace, but I got to go in the sandbox. So the lower yard, the things I have left to do, I'm going to clear the trash heap, clear the black anthill lab, and then I got to clear the sandbox. Once I do that, I'm going to turn all the super chips in, because I have not turned any super chips in because I don't want to have to deal with mosquitoes until I absolutely have to. And that'll kind of clear the lower yard. And then once I do all that and have the mint mace, because I'll be able to make the globs in the oven and stuff like that, I will make the mint mace, probably upgrade it to like level 5. Then I'm going to go back through the haze canyons and stuff like that, because those are very treacherous, but the mint mace makes killing most of the stuff in there super easy. So I want to use that in there. I could do it without it, but I think it's just going to make it easier. And like I said, since I'm not rushing, I'm just going to do that. I think I already grabbed this scabby, yeah. But my next big plan is I've decided that something I've done in a lot of my saves is I actually like to build a museum, which is kind of like, here's everything I've done in this save, kind of just show it off. It'll have like one of everything. So one of every stuffed creature, one of every wall mount, one of every weapon and armor set, kind of just displayed out there. And even like all of the different building pieces, like it'll have different, like all the tables, chairs, and everything like that as I unlock them, and just kind of set it up in a giant museum. I've done this before. It was actually the first huge build I did with my kids, and we did it back when we first played in early access, and it was finished. I think it was finished up to the point where we were in the game. I think we had gotten everything that was in the game and put it in there. But I created one on another save, but I never finished it because that was a save I don't think I played on that save much since 1.0, if I remember correctly. But I decided I'm going to build one over here. And the reason I'm going to build it over here is because a couple of reasons. One, there are weed stems for absolute days. I literally cannot cut all the weeds down. In fact, they may have already started respawning. I really, honestly, if I was building it, look at all the weeds have grown back over there. I cleared all those out. They're already back. So there's weed stems there. There's weed stems there. There's weed stems literally in every direction. There's also mushrooms when I want to build out a mushroom. So there's mushrooms here, mushrooms under the table. This is apparently like the quarry, meaning that there's like more pebblets here than anywhere else in the map, so it seems. I have tons of pebblets sitting in here in one of these chests. And yeah, I got a bunch of pebblets in here. And then there's also some clay under there. There's like, I think almost 80 clay underneath the picnic table, so I can make clay foundations or make the stone pebble foundations. So this is going to be the location of the museum. This is my next big project. I'm probably going to do that piecemeal. So maybe do some of it and then go kind of do the trash heap and then do some of it and then do and just alternate between building the museum and and progressing the story a little bit. But this is going to be a long-term project, and I really haven't exactly decided how I'm going to lay it out, but I want to have it kind of like take up this entire area. So where there'll be like a section for, I don't even know, maybe there's a section just for ants, or maybe there's a section just for like the grasslands area, and then there's another section for the sandbox or something like that. I'm kind of trying to figure out in my head, laying out how I want everything to be laid out, but this is gonna be like the next big build project. I'm still gonna keep my other houses. Like I said, the first one I showed you is gonna kind of just be a stopping off point. I'm not really gonna stay there very often unless it's nighttime when I go by it. The one up on the one that's way over there, up on the retaining wall, that'll be the one that I use primarily for now. But I'll probably end up putting like a living area in the museum somewhere nearby as well. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just build it close to here. Maybe I'll build something smaller just off the side, just so the museum doesn't get actually raided, because I'd hate for it to get destroyed by wasps or mosquitoes. Mosquitoes probably aren't to do much. Maybe wasps later on could be a little bit more dangerous, but that's a long-term plan. And like I said, I'm really enjoying playing this at my own pace and not having to kind of worry about rushing through everything. And it seems like when I stream on this world, even when I'm just like farming resources, that people enjoy it. So if you want to if you want to chat with me while I'm playing on this world, if you want to catch me streaming it live, make sure you hit the subscribe button and you can turn on the notification bell so you're notified when my live streams are going to be. Generally, they're once a week, sometimes twice a week. They're either on Wednesdays or Thursday nights Eastern time. And I play for a couple hours, like 3 to 5 hours, and just kind of stream on here and do some stuff. When there's a public test server like there was recently, I did play on that a little bit, but primarily I'm playing on this save and just kind of farming stuff, talking about what my plans are, and then preparing for the videos I'm making in the series. Sometimes there's content on accidentally. Usually I'm trying to just farm up resources and talk with you guys, but there is sometimes content like me discovering, I didn't even show off the ladybug thing. The last video I posted shows off the ladybug trick where throwing the spiky sprigs at them kills them, but that's the kind of stuff that it was like, oh, somebody triggers that in my memory, like, you can throw spiky sprigs. I was like, oh my god, I remember doing that and abusing it. And then they did fix it, because at one point you could actually, the ladybugs wouldn't even react to it, so they wouldn't even aggro, so you could very easily kill them with them. Now they at least aggro, but it's still super easy to kill them. So anyway, this is my Forever World. We are 100 days in, and like I said, I've enjoyed it so far, and I definitely look forward to the next 100 days and the next 100 days after that. I'll probably make a video like this every so often, maybe every 100 days, or maybe we'll do it like milestones, like 100, 250, 500. I'll just play it by ear and see how it goes. So anyway, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure to hit the like button, consider subscribing for more content just like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.